So the platinum demo, I want to get into this. I played it. Took me about 55 minutes. And it was, like I said, I played it as a collector. I was collecting all the gems I could and all that stuff. This world really intrigued me because Final Fantasy has always been something kind of in the Metal Gear sense where it seems like there's a lot of convoluted stuff going on, and if you're not in early, it's going to be hard for you to get in it all right.
Yep.
And with this game, the gameplay changed dynamically, and for me that's a huge thing. I don't like turn-based games, even though I play Pokemon all the damn time. But like for me, playing on a console, I don't like turn-based strategy games. I don't like turn-based combat games. It's not my thing. When I saw this was more of a hack and slash game, and it was an open world game, and it was weird because it was like fantasy mixed with current day with the cars and the cell phones and stuff, I was like, this is weird, but I like it. And I was like, you know what? There's a platinum demo. I can play this game, get a feeling for the gameplay, and I can find out if I want to play this game. I got into that game and I immediately loved it. I love the music is phenomenal. I love the music in that game. The game looks pretty. The gameplay's fun. It feels a lot like Kingdom Hearts in a sense, which is not. It feels like Kingdom Hearts in a sense, which is not too weird. Obviously, because it's Square Enix. But I love the game. I've never beaten a Final Fantasy game. I understand references when they showed the Chocobo and they showed him riding it. Everyone got excited. I understood why that was exciting. So I'm kind of in Greg Miller's camp where I understand and respect the franchise and appreciate it, but I've never fully delved into it, and I honestly feel as if I'm going to be buying Final Fantasy 15 and playing it and enjoying myself. I love the Platinum demo. Jordan, you said you downloaded it, right? You just haven't gotten to it yet?
Yeah, I haven't gotten to it, but I'm definitely excited to play it. I have already not played extensively, but I've played the episode Dusky demo as well, and it's a cool game, man. They did the right thing where they finally realized for so long Kingdom Hearts had been borrowing pieces of Final Fantasy's combat and game mechanics. And then they were like, hey, maybe we should switch that around and borrow some Kingdom Hearts mechanics for this game. And I think that's really going to pay off because they got away with the turn-based kind of esque stuff during the 13 trilogy. It's really not necessarily turn-based, but it still has its roots in that.
Yeah.
And everyone always says that the highlight of the 13 trilogy is its combat system. So I think that was the latest that they could have gotten away with it. Now in 2016, there's no way that you're going to be able to just make a straight turn-based role-playing game. That's why they're not doing it for Final Fantasy VII Remake. So very smart to go with the Kingdom Hearts influence. And, last few episodes ago we were talking about, or I was mentioning that I decided not to pre-order or buy Star Wars Battlefront just because I felt like EA they had really abused their customers in a lot of ways, kind of stripping that game bare and making you pay for the season pass to get a really full $60 experience. So I'm kind of sitting in the same boat here where it comes to Final Fantasy 15 and Last Guardian. I'm totally interested in these games.
And this game was, 10 years in the making?
Wait, Jerrad, are you talking